This is Bumper to Bumper, the car show. Drive in anxious and cruise out confident. With the best automotive information for your vehicle. And now your hosts, Matt Allen and Dave Riccio.
Well, good morning, everybody, on this Independence Day. Welcome to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio, here along with Matt Allen, and we are your KTAR car guys, heard here every Saturday from 11 to noon at Bumper to Bumper Radio. We're helping you, the motoring public, have a better overall car experience. If you've got car questions, we've got answers, so we encourage you to give us a call at 602-277-5827, 602-277-KTAR. And being that it's Independence Day, I imagine there's a lot of folks out of town, so if you've thought about calling the show, but you're like, I don't know if it's going to be easy to get through, today is a good day to give us a call. If you've got anything related to your car, we can help you, or at least we can try to help you with your car. So today on the Bumper to Bumper Roadmap, a little bit of fact or fiction, open phones, and I don't know, this list, I'm confused. Is it the 10 worst cars ever made, the 10 most unreliable cars, the 10 safest cars, the 10 unsafe cars? Well, we've talked about so many 10 best lists, I don't know what to do. I'm confused.
It seems to me there's a top 10 list for everything, Dave. And as we start off today, we got what are the top 10 best used cars. I thought that was our topic.
That's what we talked about.
But then we start going through this, and that's, again, we find all these lists. And a lot of these cars are on all the lists. Some of them aren't. Some of them are strange where you have, the cousin. We all know GMC, Pontiac, Chevrolet, Cadillac. They share a lot of platforms.
They're all the same car, different emblems on the front.
But it's odd that we'd see one, but we don't see the cousin, who's just as much of a criminal as the other. And there's the obvious, of course, the Pintos on the list, right?
Oh, the Pintos. And there is a 10 ugliest cars. I think we've done this on this show before. I think right up at the top was my Honda Element right there. And that Pontiac Aztek, I do not know what General Motors was thinking. They were out drinking late that night when they drew that thing on the napkin.
Yeah, that came up at the engineering happy hour or something, the designers. Well, I mean, you want to go through the list, but again, which list? Let's talk about.
Well, this one, Kerry got for us is the 10 worst used cars of really the last decade. So I think it was 2004 through 2013, 2014. And I'm looking at it, and it looks a little skewed because you have. And in this particular one, you got the Chevrolet Uplander, but then you got the Chevrolet Venture, but then you've got the Saturn Relay. Those all feel like the same car.
Well, they're cousins. Yeah, they're all the same car. So I feel like maybe they should combine those. It should be the Chevy so-and-so slash. And then that way it might leave room for more of the bad ones. You know what I mean? What would be on there if the cousins weren't listed as separate cars?
Well, I do see some, and this is reliability. So these cars, for like 2 or 3 years, they came up as having less than average reliability reports. So, but I'm looking at some of these, and I don't know if I agree. I see the Nissan Pathfinder on there. Overall, I've never really seen that as a high-maintenance car per se. I know it's got a couple,
they have one or two problems.
Known problems to it. But then I saw the Mini Cooper, and I think of a Mini Cooper as, man, it is like a car that's hard to keep fixed all the time.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, no, those are great cars. I'm just Mini Cooper.
Well, how is this list affected by the people who are buying the car?
Oh, I think so.
You take one person that buys it, take two people that buy a Mini Cooper, for example, and maybe one of them is a higher income level, uses their car a little bit differently, has a different mindset of maintenance.
It's not their daily driver. Maybe it's their weekend car.
But they maintain it to a high level. Now you take maybe the other person who bought the Mini Cooper, God, they saved, they got their down payment, they worked out their budget, and man, they can just get it, right? Something goes wrong, 10, 12, 15, 18, 25,000, what you name the mileage down the road. Now you take those two owners. They both bought their brand new Mini Cooper on the same day. They're different. It's a different perspective of how that car lasted over those years maybe. So often, again, I wonder, how is this list affected by the demographic of the person buying the same car?
Well, you started pulling up other lists like the most unsafe cars or the safest cars, and some of the the worst used cars were like number one is the safest car. Which one was that? The Volvo XC90?
There was the 21 safest used cars for teen drivers under $12,000. Well, man, 12 grand for a used car. When I was a teen,
we didn't spend 12 grand on my used car.
I rolled out $500 and made
you're
it happen.
planning on towing it home with a tow strap because you had to get it running.
Yeah, exactly. But that was interesting. So the safest cars, of course, we see Volvo. I mean, they are known for their safety. Volvo, Saab, the Swedes, they do some pretty amazing things with safety. We see Subaru on there. There's your Honda Element, Dave. Those are all great cars that aren't even on the best car list, but they're on the safest car list. But then again, you get into some of these cars that are the safe cars, they're on the worst car list, like the Volkswagen Tiguan, for example.
Well, these lists are just marketing, I think. I want to know what are you going to buy? What is your ideal car? So when your daughter turns 16, Claire, she's going to be the first one there.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Today, besides being Independence Day, 4th of July, in the nation's birthday, it is my first daughter, Claire Allen's birthday. So she might be listening up in Nevada. She's up there with Grandpa. So Claire, if you're listening, happy birthday, my little sweet pea.
How old is she?
She is 9 today.
9 years.
Yes.
So you're going to be buying her a car in 7 years. So in 7 years, happy birthday, Claire. I want to know what kind of car your dad's going to buy you.
Well, it's going to depend on which customer was in the shop and did a bad job of taking care of their car so I can buy it and put a new engine in or something like that. So I always tease Edith that, I had to get her the grandma car, the station wagon, when we had our first child.
They're making a comeback, station wagons.
So, she calls it the grandma car. I said, Edith, it is a sport wagon. This is a BMW sport wagon. Any grandma would love to have
Sexiest station wagon I've ever seen.
Oh, I love it. So maybe that would be Claire's used car. It would be a 16-year-old car. But, if I'm out shopping for a kid, I've heard some people say, get them a pickup truck, because that way you can only put 1 or 2 passengers in it. They can't put all their friends in it. Then I worry about kids being in the back of the darn thing.
Yeah.
But then do I want to get maybe a Toyota Corolla or a Honda Accord? It depends on your budget. So for but again, are you shopping reliability? You shopping safety? Overall? At that time in another 7 years, everything's going to have airbags. The cars, I think, are all safe for the most part.
Well, the thing is that cars last so much longer than they used to. So there's a bigger used car market than I believe there ever used to be, because a car had 100,000 miles on it 20, 30 years ago. You threw it away. It was done. But now that's only at the halfway point. So
yeah, they're going through the cars, the entire lifespan, not just for the first ownership span, but that entire lifespan of the car is going to see more owners through the years and be on the road much longer. You're right. That car at 100,000 miles before went to the scrapper.
No, it's barely broke in.
On 100,000 miles now, it's only going to its second owner, and it may have a third or a fourth. So those cars are going to be around a while.
So you drive a Toyota pickup truck. You like Toyotas.
Yeah.
I drive a Honda. I like Hondas. But it's just personal preference, but it's not necessarily based on reliability. I think all modern cars anymore, for the most part, are reliable.
Yeah.
People are worried about don't get the lemon. I don't know that there's any just horrible cars out there. Hey, there was something else you pointed out. We're looking at that car list, and the Dodge Caravan was on there as one of the worst. But Volkswagen takes the same van and just puts a Volkswagen emblem on the front of it.
Yeah, and that didn't make the list.
That didn't make the list.
Surprisingly, that thing, people going, how would you feel? You're going, you're thinking you get this German engineered car. Look at this, and all I got was a German engineered badge on this Chrysler minivan. Not to say anything bad about the Chrysler minivan now. I mean,
they're gone. They don't make them anymore.
They don't?
I think the minivan is gone. I mean, that was the thing that pulled Chrysler out of the hole.
Yeah.
That minivan was big stuff. But anyhow, so that was you drive a Toyota. I drive a Honda. But to my point is that there's no real bad cars out there. I don't think. I would stay away from, when Daewoo came around.
Oh, yeah.
People were running out and buying Daewoos.
Yeah, because they were $5.
They were cheap and you got what you paid for. But when it came time to fix it, people have these Daewoos running around. I don't see them very much anymore.
No, you can't even get parts for them.
You can't get parts for them. So that would be an example. So any of these new car companies that come out.
But what about some
of the... little hesitant to buy them?
Well, yeah. Think of some of the new car companies that have come out in the last, let's say, call it 20 years. 30 years. Acura, that didn't come out till the 80s. That was a Honda, though. That was a great launch. Lexus, that was 89 or something like that, right? Toyota. Scion, most recently, probably 2004 or 5. Those are great car companies. I used to work at Camelback, Porsche, Audi, Daihatsu. Lotus. Now, how did we get Daihatsu in with all these?
I have no idea.
Now, I would stay away from a Daihatsu, but if we rewind and Toyota's launching their new car line, the Scion, I'd be all over that. I mean, I have one of those too.
If you were to say there's a brand you just hate, I mean, you can totally be, what brand do you hate?
Oh my gosh, that's a strong word, Dave.
Isn't it? It isn't? Okay.
I'm not a hater.
There's cars, though, you see them pull up, you're like, oh, do we have to work on that thing? Maybe this question's not good for business.
Now, that's different. To work on it's different. Now, we get some technicians or mechanics in here. They might have a totally different skewed perspective. They might look at some of these best cars and say, that thing's the biggest pile of turd,
it's true.
that you've seen. I almost quit a job over having to work on a Chevette one time, or
remember the Cimarron? Oh, baby!
God, that thing
was a Cavalier with a Cadillac logo on the front of it.
Cadillac said, "We'll throw some leather in this $20,000 car and sell it to some sucker for $50." Man, what a piece of garbage that was.
Spray-on leather is, I think, what they used. Anyway, we got open lines at 602-277-4. I did forget the phone number. What's the phone number?
602-277-5827.
I've only said it once. You can also text us at 411-923. You listen to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys, on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Arizona, an amazing state for outdoor recreation and exploration. Full of mountains, lakes, streams, forests, and of course, our beautiful deserts. Hunting, fishing, camping. If it's about the outdoors, we've got it covered. KTAR invites you to get outdoors with Mike Russell today at noon. KTAR News on 92.3 FM and on every device with the KTAR app.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and Bumper to Bumper Radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE Master Techs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road, or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
My pappy said, son, you're going to drive me to drinking if you don't stop driving that hot rod Lincoln.
Well, welcome back to Bumper Radio. I am Dave Riccio here along with Matt Allen, and we are joining you on Independence Day. I'm going to be making some Nathan's hot dogs later with my neighbors, and we ride the bikes down to Tempe Town Lake and watch some fireworks. What do you got planned, Matt?
I don't know, man. I'm solo. I've got no kids at home. My wife is working. So I don't know. Edith and I, she gets off a little later tonight, so I think we might go try and drive somewhere and see some fireworks. Maybe grab a ballpark ticket, get a nosebleed, and go watch the fireworks or something. Got some house cleaning, car washing to do. go buy a smoker today, I think. If Home Depot's open, yeah.
It's the 4th of July is just a feel-good time of year. I mean, I don't know if it's what it is about July that feels good, but it does feel good. It's better than December.
Oh, I've got a cache of illegal fireworks. No, I'm just joking.
Strike that. Anyway, we do have some people that did not leave town. We've got Dave, Mary, Michael, Bill, and Lisa. We're going to go with Dave from Sun City. He's got a 1997 Oldsmobile 88. Dave, you are on Bumper to Bumper Radio. How can we help you?
Well, first, gentlemen, I have to congratulate you on actually being here today.
Thank you very much.
I didn't have expected. I figured you'd record and be off in the woods somewhere.
This is what you call dedication to our trade.
In my former career of radio many years ago, I worked just about every Christmas and Thanksgiving because I was a single guy. And I let the family guys have that time off, and then they let me have off New Year's Eve.
Yep.
So I could go get wasted.
For amateur night. So what's going on with your Oldsmobile, Dave?
The Olds, actually, now you were talking about crappy cars. I don't want to get in a ding on Saturns. I bought an LS, 2000 LS. Biggest piece of crap I ever owned in my entire life.
Yeah, the Saturns are, but again, those are tough cars. Some people had a great time with the Saturns, and some of them were good. I had a Saturn for a loaner car. It was a great car.
Every time we had one in our shop, we scanned it, and it had a list of codes in the computer. But I tell you what, these cars had 150,000, 200,000 miles on, and they were still on the road. That car had a lot of Honda to it. Even the transmission was kind of designed like a Honda.
Really?
Yeah, you take it apart, it looks like a Honda transmission.
I never saw Honda. Well, I mean, GM, obviously they were sold through the GM store, or not through the stores, they were standalone, but a lot of times it was the GM family. The parts are all Delco, not all, but Delco. I don't know. Is that some Opel? Did they bring some of the European GM into that Saturn, I think?
Man, GM has been everywhere.
Some of those, like you take the Ford Contour, that was the German version of whatever Ford has in the family over there, and they're weird. I mean, somebody sent us a text for you guys are talking about ugly. What about hideous?
Oh yeah,
there's some of those. So.
Well, thanks for the call, Dave. 602-277-5827. We're going to go with Mary in Sun City. Maybe it's Sun City who's sticking around this weekend. 2015 Jetta Turbo. That sounds like a fun car. Do you like it?
Oh, my God, I love it. I love it. But last week I heard that you made a comment that Volkswagen does not require enough maintenance on their Jetta turbos. So I want you to get real specific with me and tell me what I need to do to keep it up, because I'm a former Saab owner, and you know how Saab owners are.
Everyone's got a Saab story.
I love my Saab, but they died. So.
Right. Well, Mary, this is Matt, and I'm going to tell you we do a ton of Volkswagen work and stuff at our shop, Volkswagen Audi, and the biggest thing, and it's not just going to be for your Volkswagen, but a lot of people who the trend for fuel economy, we're going to have small engines, small displacement with turbochargers. So that's what's going to be. You're going to start seeing more and more of that. You're going to have diesel, of course, with turbo. But there's also the marketing side from the car manufacturers, and they want to tell you they want to have the lowest cost of ownership. So they want in people view going to the car shop is inconvenient. So if you can have low cost of ownership, you don't have to go to the shop much. That's great for them. But in reality, that's not good if you're going to have a car for 60, 70, 80,000 miles, which is no big deal today. Most of these cars, for the average consumer, the car's not paid off by the time it hits 60 or 70,000 miles. So the first thing I would do on any Volkswagen or Audi, we're going to talk about both of those, you have to change the oil every 5,000 miles. I believe Audi will let you go 10. I don't know if Volkswagen on the newer models had shifted to 10,000 miles.
But even if they let you go 10, it doesn't mean you want to go 10.
No, absolutely not.
No.
And that goes to your BMWs and Mercedes that will let you go even longer than that. I would cut your oil changes down to 5,000 miles. Regardless, you have got to use a Volkswagen specification motor oil. It doesn't need to come out of a Volkswagen bottle. It just needs to meet their 502 or 505 or 507 spec, whatever that is. the transmission would be the next thing, Dave. You see tons of those.
Oh, yeah.
That is not a lifetime fill. We need to cut that interval down. But other than that, those are the two biggest things. Those are the two major lubricants, and that's the lifeblood of that car. Otherwise, the spark plugs are going to go their normal interval, and I just can't think of anything else. I wasn't here last week.
No, she mentioned she had a Saab. I think she's going to be a lot happier with the Jetta than the Saab.
Oh, yeah.
I think a Saab is kind of a certain personality drives a Saab, and there is a Saab owner. They just love these things. It's kind of like a Volvo owner. Yeah. Volvo owners are Volvo owners. But I think the Volkswagen's going to be a lot more fun with the turbo in there. So thanks for the call, Mary. 602-277-5827. We're going to sneak in Michael from Phoenix on a 2005 Kia Sorento. Hey, Michael, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hi, guys. Happy 4th of July.
You too.
Yeah, I noticed I had a little oil leak under my driver's side towards the front, and I looked underneath, and there's a boot under there that is ripped apart, and I just wondered what's going on there.
When you saw an oil leak, do you think that was more heavy grease, or was it oily?
It appeared oily, not a heavy packing type grease.
Okay.
But
and now
what I saw...
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
What I saw was the boot that was ripped open.
Now, was that boot like right by the brakes or right out by the end of the tire? And was it an accordion-shaped boot?
Yeah, it's the accordion shape.
Okay.
I don't know what they're called, CV
okay,
boot maybe,
so yeah,
but it's a rear-wheel drive.
Okay. Oh, but it's a rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Okay, so you might be looking at that power steering, the rack and pinion boot. And that's why I was trying to ask you if it was closer to the center of the wheel by the brakes or more off towards like the 11 o'clock position maybe, or out towards the perimeter where a steering shaft might tie in.
So
it's
sounds
more
like
towards the middle of the car.
Okay. Well, I'm going to say if it's rear-wheel drive, it's going to be it's not going to be a CV joint on the front. It's going to be a power steering rack boot more likely, and you'll be losing a little bit of power steering fluid through there. And that boot is not to keep the grease or the oil in. It's to keep the dust out.
I got a couple texts here. It says, come on, guys. If you're going to talk about ugly cars, let's talk about hideous AMC Pacer. I thought it was kind of a cool car. Didn't they use that in Wayne's World?
Something like that, yeah.
Pacer, and then someone mentioned the Nissan Juke.
Ugh.
That'll make you think twice when that thing goes driving by.
Hey, maybe your car's ugly. Let us know.
We'll be right back.
Ready to improve your game? Hi, I'm Greg McLean.
And I'm Brandon Harris. We created Premier Fitness Systems, a completely unique training and golf performance center in Scottsdale with a focus on strength, flexibility, posture, alignment, and body position.
Having achieved great success with professional golfers and teaching pros, we're now offering you a challenge to improve your game with a free TPI golf screening and 2 golf performance training sessions. For our offer and testimonials, go to premierfitnesssystems.com.
Improve your game, improve your life. Premier Fitness Systems.
The Lodge at Ventana Canyon is Tucson's premier golf, stay and play experience. Nestled in the foothills of Tucson's Santa Catalina Mountains is the award-winning Lodge at Ventana Canyon. We invite you to join us this summer and enjoy our unlimited golf stay and play packages starting at just $99 per person based on double occupancy. Enjoy the all-suite boutique 50-room facility with country club amenities which include 2 Tom Fazio designed golf courses, the Mountain and the Canyon, state-of-the-art fitness center, day spa, 10 lighted tennis courts, locker rooms with sauna, steam room, and jacuzzi, heated outdoor Junior Olympic-sized pool, as well as the new resort pool, which will complete construction this October. For more information about the Summer Unlimited Golf Package or other specials available, please visit our website at thelodgeatventanacanyon.com today. The Lodge at Ventana Canyon, your cool getaway this summer.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service.
Matt and I share car repair tips weekly to help you keep your car safely on the road, and a few of them are easy to do.
Yep, you're right, Dave. And one of the easiest is to have a dependable battery that you can trust to get you started no matter what the conditions.
Interstate batteries are what we trust at Bumper to Bumper Radio. In fact, they're what we use at our own shops for our customers.
If you're like most people, your car is one of your most valuable investments. Make sure you take care of that investment with the power necessary to get you where you need to be. Interstate batteries are America's #1 replacement brand with the factory fresh guarantee, and they're easy to find at good shops everywhere.
Cars or trucks, Interstate has you covered with long life and performance in our harsh desert climates with products like Megatron Plus. It carries a 30-month free replacement and a 6-year performance guarantee.
Interstate batteries. No battery lasts longer. Check them out at interstatebatteries.com.
Are you looking for a refreshing change in customer service? I'm Lee Weatherby from Accurate Automotive. How about a refreshing change in your car repair relationship with honest, clear, and responsive service that looks out for your needs and not ours? For over 20 years, we've been delivering award-winning service provided by ASE certified technicians with one goal, looking out for your best interest. If it needs fixing, we'll tell you. If it doesn't, you'll know that too. I guarantee that you will not get that business-as-usual treatment at Accurate Automotive. Foreign and domestic, cars, trucks, and even fleet service, Accurate can handle your job. I invite you to come in and experience a refreshing difference in car repair and maintenance. Stop by for a free courtesy inspection, a $49 value. We feel it is well worth our investment in you because we know that good long-term relationships start early with your first walk through our doors. I'm Lee Weatherby, and I'll be there to greet you. Accurate Automotive, home of friends serving friends, just off Broadway and Robeson in Mesa since 1992. For more information, check us out at AccurateAutomotiveAZ.com today.
You're listening to Matt and Dave on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Matt, you just couldn't wait to play this song, could you?
I kind of like it.
Go a little slower.
You know, if I'm cruising out, you know, it makes me... I don't have a lowrider, though. I'd like to have one. One day I did.
They just don't ride very smooth.
No, they don't really, you know. Hopping around, doing a three-wheeler, no.
No, thank you.
No lowriders here. I had my little lowered Volkswagen Bug that I started off with, you know, my 64 Beetle, but I think that doesn't qualify for a true lowrider.
Everything that I bought, I lifted. I didn't go
yeah?
down.
You never
Some
went
people
down?
go up, some people go down.
I've heard that about you.
So, anyway, well, happy 4th of July. It is my favorite holiday of the year. You cannot not be happy on the 4th of July. It's great. We've got Lisa, Bill, I think Dennis, and Rob, and we are going to take Lisa in Chandler. She's got a 2012 Toyota 4Runner. Hey, Lisa, welcome to Bumper Radio. How can we help you?
Hi, thank you so much. I have a question. I'm a Toyota fan. This is the third one that I've owned, and this is the only one where just recently when I turn on the air conditioner, it's this really musky type smell that comes out, and I have no idea what that is. I've never experienced that with any of the other 4Runners that I've had. Do I need to get something cleaned, or you probably know what that is?
Yeah, Lisa, what's happening? You're getting mildew or mold buildup in your air conditioning system. And so I don't know, have you ever noticed in some cars you have the air conditioning running and you see water dripping out from underneath on a humid day?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you want to make sure next time it's humid, and I think it's a little more humid today, you want to make sure that your car is doing that. So take it outside in the driveway, let it run for 15 minutes, and see if it's dripping water out. It should be. And if it is, that's a good first start. The second thing is if the water is not flowing, we need to free that up. So somebody would have to get underneath the car, and there's a little rubber deal sticking down a boot, and it could be plugged up. Maybe it got some slime in there and plugged up the hole, or road dirt, or maybe when the car was new, they got undercoating on or something. But you got to be careful. You don't want to just jam something up in there and poke a hole in the...
Something that shouldn't have a hole in it.
Yeah, something that shouldn't have a hole. Now, that would be hard to do. The other thing, if that's all clean and water's flowing out of there, I'd be maybe looking at your service history. If the cabin air filter hasn't been changed in a year, we might have a situation where there's just not enough airflow and it's promoting that mildew growth. Other than that...
What do you guys do at Virginia Auto Service?
Well,
I mean, you guys have treatments for that,
yeah,
right?
we do a couple things at my shop. We have what's called MIST. It's a system. It's a device we put in the car. We load it with some kind of proprietary fluid, 10 or 12 ounces of this stuff. and you let the car run with the AC on recirculation with the cabin air filter out, and it looks like someone put a dry ice in the car. It's all filled with fog, and that fog is circulating through the car, and it kills the bacteria. The other thing we do is we have an ozone generator that we can put in to get odors out of the car. But same thing, if you want to do that at home, you can't do exactly what we did at home, but Lysol, that's a bacteria killer. You could turn your car and the recirculated air, and spray that down near the footwell on the passenger side, and that will suck that into the vent and put that through the system, and that might help kill some of that odor and bacteria as well. But with a cabin air filter in there, it may not work. So that
some people hit a little more air freshener, then you got stinky poop. That's what you say, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, hey, thanks for the call, Lisa. We're going to go with Bill in Peoria. Ford Escort and Mazda 3 are the same vehicle. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't think so. What's up, Bill?
I just want to know, is the internal engine and transmission Mazda on the Ford Escort? Are they the same components? Because I heard that Mazda is owned by Ford. I don't know. I just like to know if that was true or not.
It is true of a lot of stuff. So like a Mazda Tribute and a Ford Escape, it's the same thing. You'll find a Ford transmission in like the Mazda 626. But the Escort in general, I don't think that's a combo car.
I think the Escort has... what's Ford? Escort's got the EcoBoost system. I don't think that's the same drivetrain. As a matter of fact, I don't think Mazda and Ford are sharing as many platforms as they used to. But it's a possibility. There might be some crossovers depending on the model, because you have the B2000 or the B2300. That was a Ford Ranger.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of crossover. We see Chevrolet. We used to call it the toilet. The Toyota and the Chevy.
The Chevy Love. Remember the Chevy Love?
Yeah.
Forgot about that
Or
truck.
there was another Toyota Chevy deal. But there were some bargains to be had out there. You know, the Geo Prism. Everybody thought this is the biggest pile of junk. That's a Toyota Corolla.
Oh, yeah. Open up. Says Toyota right on the valve cover.
Yeah, you could pick up a Geo for nothing. And really end up with a great car back when, in the mid late 90s. They were fantastic.
That's what my wife had when we got married. It only was a 3-speed. She drove that thing all the way back and forth to Kansas. She's from Kansas.
Dorothy, huh?
Yeah, right. Well, I'm looking at the text here. We didn't get done talking about the ugliest and worst car. Someone wrote in a worst car, the Renault Encore. Encore? I don't even know what the heck that is.
Or Alliance.
Someone said the Nissan Juke, the AMC Matador, and the Gremlin. I don't know. If you just had to say all around worst car ever. Pinto.
That's because they exploded. I'd say Chevette.
Chevette. Yeah, that was a bad car.
I had a friend in high school that had a Chevette DJ. Oh my God.
Friends don't let friends drive cars like that.
Surprised to be alive and the shenanigans.
Well, Ford's always been into the horse theme, right? Because you had the Mustang, the Bronco. You've got they didn't have a
Pinto.
Shetland, did they? They had a Pinto. I always wanted a Pinto.
Did they have the Ford Jackass? the donkey?
The Maverick. The Maverick. A lot of horsey stuff going on. A lot of hay in that business. But I always wanted a Pinto with this customized plate. Ba-boom. I think it would be fun. Anyway, we're going to go with Rob in Phoenix on a 1977 F-150 four-wheel drive Ford. How can we help you, Rob? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Hey, guys. Happy 4th.
You too.
Hey, I've got a 77. My dad passed away and left me. I'm restoring it. I rebuilt the transmission. He had a long block in the back. I put it all back together. And everything is new on it except for the carburetor. I rebuilt the carburetor because it's the original Motorcraft. And I started it up. It runs great. But I let it sit for about 2 months. And the next time I went over to work on it, it took forever to get it started again. And I did put a new fuel tank in it, too. So I don't know. Do you think maybe the fuel pump that I bought could be letting it bleed back, or what?
Well, the fuel pump typically is not going to bleed back. The thing to do, if that sat for a couple months, what would happen is the carburetor would drain empty maybe. And when we would rebuild the carburetors way long ago, we don't do it in our shop much anymore. We just take it to a carburetor specialist. But we would JB weld or epoxy the plugs. There's lead plugs in the casting there. So I guess the thing to do is you have to get probably what happened is it cranked till it finally filled the carburetor back up with fuel, and then it started. So the thing to do next time is pull the air cleaner lid off, not while you're starting the car, and just look down and slowly operate the accelerator, make sure the accelerator pump is working. And
You see a little squirt in there.
Yeah, you should see just a little pee out, 2 little squirts of fuel. You need to look for that. If that doesn't happen, well, then you've probably got no fuel in the carburetor. But I doubt it's the fuel pump that's causing that. It's going to be the bowl in the carburetor more likely leaking down if it is a fuel starvation issue. It could be a number of different things as well. But if we're leaning towards it was out of gas, it drained through the carburetor.
Well, thanks for the call, Rob. 602-277-5827. We are going to go with John in Phoenix on a 2006 Mercedes C230. Hey, John, you're on Bumper to Bumper Radio. What can I help you with?
Hi, guys. Thank you for taking my call. Happy 4th of July.
You too.
So I got a C230 I bought about a year ago. It runs perfect. It was only one owner. I bought it with 90,000 miles. And my grandfather's a mechanic, and I'm pretty mechanically savvy, but when it was cold, it would go into limp mode, and the check engine light would turn on. And from my research that I was doing on it, it's essentially the speed sensor that's on the transmission. And other people are saying that it could be the valve body, but I already have the speed sensor here at home. The thing is that when the temperature changed to when it got really hot, it never did it again. It's been 3 months, and I'm just wondering if weather would affect the sensor to the point where it's not going to put the transmission in the limp mode and just make the car run fine.
Well, I would want to know what the diagnostic trouble code is that put that transmission in a limp mode first. So if it is related to the speed sensor, yeah, great. But we need to know what the definition of that code is. Anytime I think about a car that has problems when it's cold out transmission-wise, a lot of times they're just low on fluid. And why that happens is that transmission fluid expands and contracts with temperature. So when it's cold out, the fluid's going to be a little bit lower. When you start up in the morning, the transmission takes a gulp of air, and then you're going to get speed sensor codes because it registers a slip. So a lot of times that happens. So it could be related to that. That's something I would be looking at. A 722.9, I believe, is the model number that's in that transmission. I think those speed sensors are part of the valve body. So I don't think you can actually change them out without changing out the valve body.
Well, and that's one of those, I think we can talk about that another
theft-related
day.
parts.
Mercedes-Benz has what they call theft-relevant parts, and a lot of manufacturers have these same parts, and they won't sell them to the aftermarket. I mean, someday you're going to have an ignition switch go out on that car, and they're doing everything they can do. The way that they try not to sell these parts to us is tell them that they're related to theft. And Dave, you have it too, but Dave and I both have the locksmith certification and the security professional certification through NASTAF, which is the National Automotive Organization that kind of handles these things. So we can actually, in our shop, fix these cars where the majority of shops can't.
I would go there, checking fluid levels, and that would be my first place I would go. So it's time for Fact or Fiction. All right, fact or fiction for today.
How about I ask the question, Dave? Because you're always asking me.
That's actually true.
I know it's your little. You put all the effort in that little recording thing that you.
Oh, a lot of effort. A lot of effort.
So, but you're always, you got to make me. I gotta just take one for the team all the time and look like the dummy here. So, you're up.
All right. What's the fact or fiction?
I don't know. What is it? No. So, with fuel prices down, it's a good idea. I'm going to get more power out of my little car. I'm going to spend the money and put premium fuel in. That's good for my car, and I'm going to have better power. Fact or fiction?
Well, I'm gonna say that is complete fiction. It just, it's counterintuitive. I would think the bigger the number, the more the power. I mean, it would feel like that would be a good thing to do, but I don't think so. Unless it says super unleaded on your fuel door, don't waste your money.
I concur.
You concur. You got something else for me? Anything a little harder?
No, that's true. I wrote an article when we were doing our blogs on KTAR.com about the fuel economy. And if your car calls for 87 octane, put 87. If it calls for 91, you better put 91 because it's not going to perform well. And the higher octane is not good for the performance of a car that doesn't require it. It burns differently. I think it burns too slow, so it doesn't burn when that particular engine is designed to burn it, and it can cause a decrease in power and economy.
Now, I know my wife's car, when her car had a real pinging problem, that Toyota or Geo Prism that she drove, Toyota, and we'd put high octane in the summertime.
Well,
it would detonate because cylinder temperatures were up and all that. So there was a reason for it.
Well, the reason was because you didn't take very good care of the car, so it had a pinging problem that you masked with premium fuel.
That's true. The last shoemakers' kids go without shoes. That's just the way it is.
That's right.
So,
oh my God, you should see how sick my kids are.
That's right. Your wife's a pediatrician. So when we come back, we've got time for maybe another phone call. We've got Joe, Steve, and Jay, 602-277-5827. You're listening to Matt and Dave, your KTAR car guys.
Trust. It's hard to earn and sometimes even harder to find. If you live or work in downtown Phoenix, Matt Allen's Virginia Auto Service is celebrating over 20 years of award-winning service at the corner of 7th Street and Virginia. Recognized as one of the best service shops in the country, their customers have come to trust Virginia Auto Service for its A+ rating by the BBB, 2-year 24,000-mile warranties, and free transportation to and from your home or office. 20+ years of earning your trust. Virginia Auto Service. They're serious about service.
Hi, Lisa Henry with Russ Lyon Sotheby's International Realty. Have you been thinking maybe the time is right to move, but you're not sure if you have enough equity in your home or if it really is a good time? Well, home values have increased significantly over the past few years, and interest rates are still historically low. For how long? No one knows. But for every 1% increase in the interest rate, the result is about a 10% loss in purchasing power. So it might be a really great time to sell your home and either upsize or downsize to a new home while the interest rates are still low. Contact me via my website at lisareneehenry.com or direct at 480-330-9530 for a no-obligation market valuation on your home and to hear about our global online marketing plan designed to sell your home quickly for top dollar. Again, that's lisareneehenry.com, 480-330-9530. Come experience the difference a truly customer-focused real estate agent can make.
There's nothing more important than family. Hi, Kurt Rock for Kurt's Auto Repair. Family owned and operated and bumper-to-bumper radio preferred. We've been taking care of Valley families and their auto care needs with a perfect Better Business record for over 27 years. Come experience the difference our ASE MasterTechs can make for you and your family at Kurt's Auto Repair. Just east of I-17 at 22nd Avenue and Bell Road or online at mycarhurts.com. Gas or diesel, foreign or domestic. If your car hurts, take it to Kurt's.
We got some funky dancing going on over here, Dave. That's ugly there, man. I've been with you at a wedding in public, and you do that. You know.
I get out of control. Give me a little bit of liquid courage, and
I was watching.
Man, I'll be doing the sprinkler and the Q-tip and the lawnmower.
I was watching this Seinfeld marathon the other day, and they had that one where Elaine's out there dancing, like like her boyfriend left, and everybody, Carrie's got it. Everybody ditched her. She's like, whoa, what's wrong with this? That made me think of you, Dave. Well, we are back. Bumper to Bumper Radio again every Saturday, helping you, the motoring public, with your car. So whenever you have car questions or car problems, every Saturday at 11 o'clock, we're here to help you. And you can always go to bumpertobumperradio.com to find a good shop in your neighborhood. And for all your car needs, whatever it is. I mean, people come into my shop, Dave, who do I go to for body work? Who do I look for referrals? You should be looking at your Bumper to Bumper Radio shop to be your neighborhood resource, whether it's upholstery work. All of us have people that we know how to get you taken care of, even when it's stuff that we don't do. So again, bumpertobumperradio.com. And Dave, another thing I saw, I saw it on another website, but it's on the KTAR.com website too. There's a shortage of blood in the state of Arizona. The holiday brings the shortage. I was looking here. There's only 60 units of type O blood as of like 2 days ago, is what the press release said. So if you got type O blood, Arizona Blood Services, if you can spare the blood and you haven't given, you should be giving. And as a matter of fact, July 9th at Virginia Auto Service, we're having the Bloodmobile there, and we're doing a blood drive. And I didn't even know about this. We already had that scheduled. So,
well, it looks like Sunday at 7 a.m. at Tempe Center for the Arts lasts until 1 p.m., so taking some blood there as well. So, hey, we've got Joe on the line. We had a caller earlier. I don't know if we answered his question completely. It was the Kia with the leak, and then we said his rack and pinion was leaking. What does that mean to him?
Okay, well, it's a rear-wheel drive car, but we're going to talk generically so it applies to everybody. Let's just pretend that this car is front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. So we're going to have a couple things that have boots up in the front. The first and most common thing that we're going to have on a front-wheel drive car is the CV boot. Those used to tear all the time. They don't wear out nearly the way
they used to.
They've changed from rubber to some other kind of combination thereof of rubber.
Bolonium carbide.
That's what it is. That's why they're so good. So those turn. Every time the car is making a rotation, every rotation of the wheel, those axles are turning. Every time they turn right and left, the axle joint is turning and wearing the boot. And every time the car goes over a bump vertically, that accordion is also bending. So those wear out over time. They're designed to hold grease in. So that grease will fling out. Now, what he was talking about, he said he had more of an oil, but his car was rear-wheel drive. So now I'm going to start thinking about the rack and pinion steering unit. So that's your power steering unit. Your steering column, or the center shaft of the steering, goes basically down and ties into the steering gear. So when you turn right, left, it moves a worm gear. And those also have boots to cover the cylinders. It's got to go in on one side and out on the other. And that's a highly polished chrome cylinder. That needs to be protected from dust. That boot that's on there, sometimes those tear and we can replace just the boot. But when those boots are torn and oil comes running out of those boots are dust boots, not made to hold anything in.
Keep dust out, but not oil in.
There's
a seal further back that sounds like it's leaking.
Yeah. So the combination is probably the thing leaked, got on the boot, that's rubber, that's designed to keep dust out. We know what happens when rubber and petroleum mix. That boot breaks apart, and you have a leak there. Now, you see some shops are very aggressive. Oh, you have a torn ball joint boot. We better replace that. See it from the Honda house once in a while.
I'm not writing home about a ball joint boot.
No, or a tie rod in boot. Come on, give me a break. You don't need to replace those.
Well, let's get with Joe in Mesa and see what we can do for him on this 4th of July. What's happening, Joe? You're on Bumper to Bumper Radio.
Yes, how you guys doing?
Fantastic.
That's good. I have a 91 Cadillac Coupe de Vol with the 4.9 300 horsepower engine. And recently I drove it to Colorado and back. And on the trip, when I was in eastern Colorado, it rained every day. And it seemed like I had water in the fuel. And then I put some heat in it. And then on the way back, it kind of would hesitate and stuff like your fuel filter and so on, etc. And then it would run great. And I was just wondering if by chance, if I should do a higher octane of gas, because I think I've been putting in like 87, and I think it does call for a higher octane, and if the O2 sensor would be acting up.
Boy, there's a whole lot wrapped into one there, Dave. As far as the runnability problem or the way the car is driving, that's difficult to say the way it's obviously it's intermittent. So the car is not delivering certain parts of the fuel tank at certain times and other parts. So it doesn't seem to me like it would be a water in the fuel issue. I mean, maybe you could go out and buy Seafoam. Seafoam's a cleaner. You can buy at AutoZone or Checker or Napa, any of those. That's one of the engine oil, not one of the gas treatments I like. It was originally came out of the marine industry. So if there's water, that may help get rid of the water. As far as the high octane, do whatever the car says to do. And Dave is.
Well, no, I don't see water. I think it happened here recently, some gas stations up north, that there was actually water in the gas, but it doesn't seem like something that necessarily happens. And, we talked about the myth of, they're watering down their gasoline over there to get more out of it. And I don't think you can really water the gasoline down.
Well, they're going to separate. The water's going to settle on the bottom. So no, it's not going to work like that. But he did say he was in Colorado. It was raining a lot. You could have got water. Let's just speak generically. If you're going to get water, it's either going to come from the gas station or from your car. The gas cap left loose in a lot of rain. Driving through puddles, you're not going to get gas in the gas tank. So I would be surprised if we had a water issue. Wouldn't you?
I think so too. And then I notice. I mean, different areas have different fuels a little bit. Doesn't seem like. Do you know if there's any?
Well, we also have the transition that's already been made to the summer fuel. And when there's different additives and detergents, and some of them, the additives that they put in act like a cleaning agent. So we do see some more drivability problems with the summer gasoline for sure.
Well, thanks for joining us on your 4th of July. We know you got a lot of hot dogs to eat this afternoon, maybe some hamburgers. Thanks, Bree, for running the show and answering the phones. If you're looking for an honest, competent repair shop, you can find them at bumpertobumperradio.com. Remember never to text and drive. And from all the shops at Bumper to Bumper Radio, have a great Independence Day weekend.
Hi, I'm Scott, General Manager with Whitey's Auto Repair here in South Scottsdale. We built a reputation for quality auto service and repair for over 45 years, and our customers have come to trust us for our recommendations. We value that trust, and that's why when it comes to transmissions, for the past several decades, we have been recommending Tri-City Transmission. They have yet to disappoint. I feel so strongly about it, I wouldn't go anywhere else. Why would you? Google them online today at tricitytransmission.com. Go where the pros go. Tri-City Transmission.
Bunker to Bunker, the golf show's famous two-person scramble tour continues with our next stop on Saturday, July 18th at the spectacular Ambiente Golf Course at the Camelback Golf Club and the luxurious J.W. Marriott Camelback Inn Resort and Spa, benefiting the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Phoenix. The tournament includes golf, lunch, awards, a raffle, and even a bounce-back coupon for a member rate of golf. All for just $84, and check out the hotel rates starting at $99 per night. Space is limited. Register today. Go to bunkergolf.com for details.
It sounds like they've just had the accurate automotive experience. We're family owned and operated and have served the Mesa, Tempe, Gilbert communities for over 22 years. We focus on building long-lasting relationships and, oh yeah, listening to you so that we can understand, meet, and exceed your expectations. One location, 14 bays, 88 years of automotive expertise, and a passionate commitment to customer service and excellence. My name is Lee Weatherby, and I approve this message because it's true. We love what we do, and we want to do it for you. Accurate Automotive, the home of friends serving friends.
Join us for everything automotive on Bumper to Bumper Radio with Dave Riccio and Matt Allen, the KTAR Car Guys, every Saturday 11 to noon on KTAR News, 92.3 FM.
Spring is here, but big bad summer's just around the corner. Join us this Saturday for the top 10 tips to prepare your car for the heat.
And remember, 24/7, there's Bumper to